Hi, y'all. Come on in, come on in. I don't like how this looks, but you know what? We're going to make it work. Come on in, come on in. Hey, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Hey. All right. Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. It looks a little bit better. Okay. Aha. That's better. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, y'all. Good evening. Good evening. I pray that everybody is well. I pray that your families are well. I pray that you all had a phenomenal day. I pray that you received phenomenal, great news that it was like really just sent you like running, right? And if today wasn't that day, my prayer is that tomorrow will be that day and that you'll get like a full year, if not longer, of phenomenal news. How amazing would that be to like go to close out this year with every day receiving phenomenal news, right? For receiving news that just makes you so excited, receiving news that makes you so happy, that puts a smile on your face. So, good evening and welcome to the Dr. Janine channel, Dr. Janine Mobley channel. I am Dr. Janine Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. Janine. I help God fearing women make money from their idea all while they're working their 9 to 5. And what separates me from other people who do what it is that I do, one, I'm me and nobody else can be me. I don't care how hard you try, I don't care how much you study me. Look, you cannot be me. And why would you, right? Why would we want to be like somebody else? Let me tell you why. Because the reason why somebody would want to be someone else is because they don't know whose they are, nor do they know who they are. So as a result, you seek your identity from other people instead of going to the source, which is God who created you, right? The second thing that separates me from other people that do exactly what it is that I do is I'm focused on helping my clients build a foundation, right? Build a strong foundation, which is them, so that as they build a business, their foundation, which is their mindset, their soul, and their spirits, are strong, stable, and firm to be able to handle. It's mommy mode, right? To be able to handle the business and the idea that God has given them. So that's me, right? For more details on how you can work with me, I have a link posted in the description section where you can schedule your discovery session with me. Would love to connect with you. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And also, also make sure you share this live broadcast with about 2 people via text message or on social media. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me tell y'all something. Okay, so tonight's topic, let me give y'all the truth, for real, the real truth. So I didn't want to go live. Like, I didn't want to. Like, I just really didn't want to. And I have moments quite frequently sometimes where I don't feel like doing what is necessary to grow my business, to build the idea that God has given me. I also have times where, in terms of building myself, I don't feel like exercising. I may not feel like listening to personal development. Certain things I just don't feel like doing. Let's just be honest. And this is where this live brought this the title for this live came from, because I have those moments where I just don't feel like it. And I understand that there are many people, because before I became an implementer, before I became someone that really put action um behind what I knew I needed to do, or put action behind what I was saying that I wanted. I was one of those people that would just did a whole lot of talking. Like, I was one of those, if you are one of those people that just did a lot of talking and one doing no action, look, you can put a one in the comments, because I'll tell on me that was me. And there was a lot that shifted in me, especially in my mindset first, that really caused me to become an implementer. So I realized that there are a lot of people who struggle with the same thing. You know, we have these grandiose and these amazing ideas. And let me tell you, it is God Himself who gives us these ideas. And one thing that I know is that anything that God does is never small. So we can always count on the fact that whatever idea that God has given us is going to be huge, it's going to be big. We're going to be great and excited about it. But when it's time to implement and implement consistently, that's where the doers are separated from the talkers, right? So this past, I've been very, very consistent and excuse me, in doing what is necessary to market my business. But I have those moments in time where I just don't feel like it. So what do we do? And you can apply these same principles to your life, that you know there are things that you need to do to work on you, but sometimes you just don't feel like it. Number one, I hope that you have a pen and paper, because I'm going to give you some great stuff. The first thing is, you can't go with feelings every single time. Our feelings are designed to keep us aware and alert, and we want to be honest about how we feel. However, we should not allow our feelings to guide us on every move that we make. Because one thing about it, our feelings are very, very emotionally connected. And if you're not careful to discern where the feelings are coming from, and you're not aware that maybe this is just how should I say, the enemy trying to stop me from moving forward in my purpose, moving forward in progressing. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times where we need to rest. There are times where we need to stop. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the individual who's always talking about, this is what I want to do. But the moment that you don't feel like doing something, you just don't do it. Right? You're always talking about it, but you're not being about it. You're talking about it, but you're not putting any action behind it, all because you just don't feel like it. And as a result, you don't get the results that you desire. So I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you and support you when you are having those moments. The first thing is, you want to remember your why. So whenever you have moments where you just don't feel like it, where you don't feel like going live, where you don't feel like exercising, where you don't feel like doing what is necessary to build you and or the idea that God has given you, I want you to remember your why. And if you never created a why for your life or for your idea, I want you to sit back and I want you to think about it now. So your why, I remember when I was in network marketing, and those who were in leadership brought me on. And one of the first things they asked me was, Janine, what is your why? And I was like maybe 20 some years old. And I was like, well, what's the point? What is my why? And they were like, why do you want to build this business? And it has to be deeper. It has to be more emotionally connected to you just want to make money. Because I mean, that's the first thing that we do. We go in business because we want to make that money, right? But she told me, she said, your why should make you cry, because you have to understand that when you transition into entrepreneurship, whenever you're selling something, sometimes you're going to get more no's than you get until you get that yes, right? Sometimes you may get a whole couple of no's, and those no's, or even the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 no's, can discourage you. It can make you feel small. It can make you question about whether you made the right decision. And this is what happens in business. People, get this idea, they move forward with it, and then when it's time, when somebody may tell them no, and then they get discouraged and they stop and feel like it was the wrong thing. But the reality of it is, as an entrepreneur, it builds you. It's going to show you sides of yourself that you didn't realize were dormant. So you want to identify, what is my why? Why, let's just say, if we're talking about building ourselves, why do I want to lose weight? So I'll tell you, for me, one of the reasons why I want to lose weight is to always remain healthy. Gratefully, so far, I believe I've lost about 30 pounds. Well, probably more than that since I had our son. I believe I got it upwards of, because I have the numbers here on the wall. I've lost, let's just say, over 30 pounds, right? And gratefully, I've kept majority of it off. So what continues to push me to live a healthier life? One, I want to live. One thing that I understand is that Jesus come that I might have life and have it more abundantly. And I know that's through me accepting Jesus Christ, right? But also it's for me to have longevity in life, and not only to live till I'm 100 years old, but to be vibrant in my living, to live well, to live healthy. Thank God tomorrow I'm going to be 41 years young. And guess what? I'm excited about that. I'm so excited to turn 41 because guess what? First of all, the 40s have been amazing so far. And I know that it's going to just get even greater. It's going to be even more amazing. But I want to have longevity. I want to live vibrantly. I want to as I age, I want to be better than fine wine. I want to be better as I get older, right? I want to be sharp. I want to be in shape. So what pushes me to continue to exercise, actually number one, what pushes me to exercise is really for my mental and emotional health and for my own personal self-care. It is the way exercising makes me feel good. And not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. I have clarity. God gives me ideas, even as I exercise. So, even in my business, why am I building my business? I have several reasons why. But number one is I understand that God brought me here for a reason. There is a reason that Dr. Janie was created. There's a reason that I was formed in the womb of my mother. And I serve a God who does nothing haphazardly. I serve a God who always has an intention for everything that he does. I serve a God that even had that where there may have been something bad, that he'll turn it around and all things will work together for my good. So I understand that I am here for a reason. I am his intention. He was intentional when he made me. He thought about something that was going on in this earth and he said, you know what? I'm going to form Janie. I'm going to put her here for such a time as this to solve this problem in the earth. I am the solution. So because I know I serve a God who's intentional and he created me intentionally, it is my duty to make sure that I fulfill the very purpose on this earth that he called me to do. How dare I die before I fulfill the call on my life? That's how I know I'm going to live very, very long and in perfect and pristine health. Because God has called me greater. The same thing for my husband. We're going to live a long, fruitful, healthy, full life, even for our children, because there's a reason that we are here. I understand that my light drives out darkness. And let me tell y'all, this world is full of darkness. And my light and those who have the light of God, we light up this world because of the light of God that dwells in me. Right? And the other thing is the reason why I am building my business is one, the Bible tells us that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. An insurance policy is an amazing thing. Don't get me wrong. But how amazing will it be for our children to have houses individually, for them to have houses, property, and have the wisdom to take care of it? I understand also another one of my reasons why is my job will never pay me enough to do the will of God that he's called me to do, to support the organizations, to build the nonprofits. They can't pay me enough. With my business, there's no limit to what I can make. I write my own ticket with the help of God. So you have to identify and be very, very clear on what your why is. Because in times where you don't feel like it, like literally when I didn't feel like going live, I had to think about it. Okay, Janie, if you don't put yourself out there, which is marketing, how will people even know who you are? The Bible tells me, and I'm gonna have to do a live, y'all. It's gonna be amazing. But our gift will make room for us and put us before great men. But if you don't market yourself, how will the great men find you? How will people even know that you exist? You have a phenomenal solution to somebody's problem, but if they don't know that it exists, How are they going to find you? Well, through word of mouth. But guess what? The person whose word is going to spread it, they got to know about you too. And if they don't know that you exist, how are they going to find you? This is what marketing does. So even when that came to my mind, I said, "Oh, I got to get my behind on here and market." Because let me tell y'all something. One thing that I truly understand, I want to encourage y'all, for those of you all who feel like sometimes you post stuff and people don't see it, you post stuff and you think people don't like it. Let me tell y'all something. I remember going to work one day and I came into the break room and there were three ladies in there having lunch. And one of them, I do the 4 days of prayer, usually the third full week, unless God switches it up like he did it this month. The third full week, the third full week of every month, right? And one of the ladies, she had already joined the list so that she can receive contact whenever I do the 4 days of prayer. But it was another one of my colleagues in there. She goes, "Oh, you don't catch y'all on Facebook Live?" And I was looking like, this is when I was like on Facebook Live before I transitioned to YouTube. And I was in my head, I wasn't looking at her like that, but in my head, I was looking like, how she know I go live on Facebook? Because what came to my mind was, I've never seen her like my posts. I've never seen her give me hearts. I've never seen her comment. But one of the things that God told me is that sometimes people may not comment, they may not react or respond to your post, to your live, or whatever it is that they do, that you do content wise, but they see you. And the fact that I consistently show up says a lot about me as an individual brand. It shows that I'm consistent. It shows that I am committed. Because one thing I remember watching, no, not watching, I was listening to a podcast by Patrice Washington. And on she's on the podcast. Y'all find her. Her name is Patrice Washington. Excuse me. And she's been, I mean, very committed to her podcast over the years. I mean, consistent. Like, I think she does a podcast every single week without fail. Okay. And she said this. She said a lot of people pitch her about being a guest on her podcast. And she said this, and it has resonated in my spirit like it won't go away. And she was like, one of the things that I do is I go to their social media and I look through their feed. And she's not just looking at the content, she's looking at how committed and faithful the person is to the content, to posting, to going live, to being very committed to the call. And one of the things that she observed is that people would pitch to her, but they weren't consistent in doing their own social media promotion. So how can she, with integrity, bring their brand onto her podcast? And it spoke to me. You don't know who's looking at you, right? You don't know who's paying attention to you. They may not be saying a word, but they may be watching everything that you do. And it may be years or months down the line, and they may come back and say, you know what, I saw everything that you were doing on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever the social media avenue was. And I'm so proud of you for your commitment. This is why I'm giving you the opportunity. I get views on YouTube, on social media all the time. I don't know who's looking at that. You just don't know. Okay. So number two, so figure out, number one, I want you to take some time tonight and figure out your why. And over time, your why just may change. It's going to evolve and grow because you will. So number two, I also want you to remember that it's bigger than you. Any idea that God gives is always big. It is always for the purpose that they might be saved. So as a believer, if he's put an idea in your spirit and even your own health, it's bigger than you. Me being healthy and getting healthier is not just about me. My daughter watches me exercise. She'd be like, Mama, can we exercise? My son, our son, asked me about doing push-ups. Why? Because he's seen me do push-ups. This gallon of water, I'm gonna have to get me like a specially made gallon because love. And I'm gonna finish. And yes, I'm gonna finish drinking this tonight. And yes, I'm gonna be up throughout the night going to the bathroom because I had a meeting today, right, y'all? And y'all, the meeting went so well. Oh my gosh, God is amazing. I prayed before the meeting. I prayed in preparation for the meeting. Y'all, God showed out for his baby. Okay? He showed out for me. I forgot to pray before this live. Father God, in the name of Jesus Christ, may you impart in me what you know that your people need, and may it touch the hearts and lives of every individual that connects on. Lord, Father, may they be transformed by the renewing of their mind. And Father, give me what it is that you know that they need, that their lives, their minds, their souls, and their spirits will be transformed for your glory. And I give you all of the honor, the praise. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay. So I didn't get to drink my water. So I'm making up for it now. Okay. So you want to make sure that, and always remember that what you are doing is not about you. The idea that he's given is so much bigger than you. The idea that God has given me to help God-fearing women make money from their idea. Although I'm going to make money, guess what? It's going to benefit them even more because these women are going to be able to transition out of their jobs. My clients are going to be able to take something from their head, put it on paper and implement it, and then get results from it and make money from it. All while they continue to build themselves, remain married, be a great wife, be an amazing mom, right? Know when it's time to stop and give her husband what he's supposed to have, right? Stop and watch TV with their children. These are all things that I've learned, but it's also necessary as you build your business to build your personal life, to build yourself. Know when to stop and just make time for you. Know when to have me time. Know when to just sit in the bathroom an extra couple of minutes before you come out and have to tend to everybody else. Know when to tell people no. This is not just about me. Y'all don't mind our son in the background if you can hear him. But understand and always remember, it's bigger than you. There is somebody waiting on you to get up and do what you're supposed to do so their lives will be transformed. I want you to think about a music, a song that really, really came into your spirit and just encouraged you. Even if it was a TEDx talk, something that just, even when you went to church, what if that message didn't go forth? And think about how you felt after you received the message, after you listened to the song. What did it do for your life? Understand that your idea that God has given you the capacity to provide the same transformation, if not greater, for somebody else. So in times when you just don't feel like it, think about them. We have a responsibility. To whom much is given, much is required. So if he gave you the idea, much is required for you to go out there and share it and impart it into the people. Remember, it ain't about you. So number one is remember your why. Establish your why. Why are you in business? Why do you want to be healthy? Right? And it has to be deeper than I just want to, if it's healthy, I want to look good in my clothes. No, what is the bigger picture? What runs in your bloodline that you're going to prevent, that you're going to stop, that you're going to say not so? For me, my grandmother, for me, it was heart disease in my family. There were people in my family who had heart disease. So for me, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't have sweets, that I don't eat out every now and then, because guess what? I do. But I know when to stop. I know when it's time. I know I got to drink water. I drink more water than I do anything else. Outside of this, ask me what I drank today. I drank some lemon water, which had like lemon slices, and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Outside of that, this. People ask me like, how did you lose all that weight? I ordered this. I remember I was pregnant, and I know I'm off on a tangent, but this is how y'all get to know me. I was pregnant with our daughter. I think that's what it was. And I was like, you know what? I've always been a water drinker, but I never measured how much water I would drink every day. I said, I'm gonna get me a gallon water jug. Been buying them for me and my husband ever since. Because it pushes me to make sure I get my gallon of water in every day. I'm committed to it. Why? Because I desire to live healthy. I'm 41 years young, right? I don't have, gratefully, I am completely healthy. I don't have to take no medication. The only thing I take are multivitamins. That's it. That's it. Period. That's it. Strong storm shall not come to pass in Jesus' name. I just got like a flash on my phone I had to address. Right? So last thing is, you have to understand, and this is the last thing I want you to remember, that what you do today is not just for today, but it's tomorrow. It's for tomorrow. This is something that keeps me going in my marketing, especially. My health as well. The things that we do today prepare us and position us for tomorrow. This can work for your finances. A lot of the times what happens, let's just say in business, majority of the times people are looking for a get rich quick scheme. But the reality of it is what will last is what is built on a firm and stable foundation. Quick money is not always good money. Because one thing that I find is that when whatever takes time to be built, whatever takes time to be nurtured is what lasts. Right? Because the person should have, and 9 times out of 10, have taken time to build whatever it is. So you want to approach that same thing as with whatever it is that you're doing. So the marketing that you're doing today ain't to attract just a client for today. It's really to build towards your tomorrow. The walking that you're and exercising that you're doing today is not for today. It's to consistently build better health for tomorrow. The money that you're saving and investing today is not for today. It's a seed in the ground that will reap a harvest as long as you water it properly for tomorrow. So every time you don't step up to the plate and do what is necessary to build and grow your business and your idea, understand that you're delaying the results of your tomorrow. So you got to shift your perspective. You got to shift your way of thinking and understand that this is so much bigger than you. When you don't feel like it, assess. You got to go back and say, okay, why did I decide to move into this business? What is my ultimate goal? Because you don't want to be in a position where your boss can come in and fire you and you just left. You don't want to be in a position where you've been working a job and they capped out your salary. And there's more that you want to do for your family. You don't want to be in a position where you begging and borrowing all the time. What is your why? Be clear on it. See it. Envision it. The next thing is, remember, it's not about you. It's so much bigger than you. So much bigger than you. And lastly, understand that what you're doing today is a seed that will reap a harvest on tomorrow. So I pray that this has encouraged you. If it has done anything for you, make sure you leave me a positive comment. Make sure you share this live broadcast and make sure you subscribe to my channel so that anytime that I'm on, you receive the notification and you join me live. Y'all have a phenomenal week. And if I don't talk to you before Thanksgiving, have a happy Thanksgiving. Remember, know your worth. Good night, y'all. Bye.